I know it's dark and I look terrible, but those of you that have never been, on my channel, I pretty much, I guess I'm kind of political, but mostly I just discuss what in, you know, the world is going on in this whole universe, because in reality, we're pretty screwed up. Today's video is about the wave of conservative teens that are kind of going on and off and on and off. Now, I'm assuming most conservative teens have not been on both sides of, the board. Because I've been on the liberal side. I was on the liberal side for the longest time, probably almost my whole life. Because that's kind of what I was taught to be. I was in the public schools and no one else ever really mentioned politics, so I just became a liberal. I was a staunch liberal atheist. And then eventually, I got educated. I figured out what was really going on. I grew up in a sense. But most conservative teens, I'm assuming, have not been on that far side of the spectrum, the political spectrum. So when they see the new ideas that are being exposed to them in the public schools or wherever they're learning the politics from that happens to be liberal, they might just take the ideas and switch their opinion. Now, I don't have a problem with it. Like, it's okay to have your own opinion, but, honestly, it seems like it's happening a lot. And people have been asking me, oh, are you gonna switch? No, not gonna switch. I've been on the other side of the board. Now, it's a good idea before you start exposing yourself to look on both sides, see which one you agree with. Because, like I said, people that are becoming like this, the conservative teens, they might, be exposed to liberal stuff and they might think that's better, and, because that's pretty much what the government is doing to the kids. They're manipulating people, and, yeah, they're not allowed to have their own opinion at the school or wherever they're learning that's run by the government. Blah, blah, blah. They switch. And, recently I even heard out, like, well, first huge conservative icon that was young was Jonathan Crone. And obviously, you all know what happened with Jonathan Crone. He was a conservative and now he's a liberal, something like that. And then recently, kid my age, his name is C.J. Pearson. He recently switched. Now he supports Bernie Sanders. So everyone's kind of freaking out, like, what's happening to our youth? Are we losing them all? No, you're not. You are not losing them all. I, you know, have been here and there and all up and around, and I've seen it all. I've seen both sides of the spectrum, and I picked this one. I picked it, and I had some really bad experiences with my past, and I figured it's time for me to wake up and grow up, and that's exactly what I did. And here I am today running a YouTube channel, and I also have an Instagram page. It's at conservative masshole, and yeah, um, you know, living this new life. It's so much better than the experience that I had as the staunch liberal atheist. And just to let you know, you need, once you grab on to that opinion, you need to stand your ground, because they're gonna run the crap out of you. They're gonna pull you through the ringer 20 times. And if you fall for it, it's not my fault. It's not anyone else's fault. It, it's your fault for falling for it. But I'm just saying, it's going to be difficult to have your opinion, and it'll be especially difficult when you've only seen one side of the board. You need to be exposed to both sides, not just one. And obviously, the one side the most kids are being exposed to is liberalism. And it's okay if you end up agreeing with it, but you need to be exposed to both sides, because once I was finally exposed to conservatism, it made liberalism seem like unicorns and rainbows and every other thing that's unrealistic. And it made me sound like I was an idiot for the last 7 years. That's it. You just gotta gotta get yourself where you want to be before you latch there, because we don't want more Jonathan Crones or more CJ Pearsons. We want people to stand their ground, because liberalism is ruining the country, and if everyone just keeps playing switcheroo, how are we supposed to fight the fight?